Yo, my name is Sebastian Zavala. So in the past, most people had a pension plan that would pretty much guarantee an income in retirement. So you spend your career at a company, and while you work there, often they would fund that account and they would pay you a specific amount of money every month in retirement for life based on your income and how long you worked there. I mean, isn't that crazy? All you had to do is work hard, not get fired, and after retirement age, given that the company didn't go bankrupt, you would get paid until you die. In some cases, it could go as high as 80% of the salary that you had when you worked there. Pension plans are mostly gone now, and working 30 years at a company does not guarantee anything. They're not replaced by 401ks, and it's up to you to manage where and how you invest. The type of lifestyle you want to have in retirement, or whether you have enough money available until you die, depends on what you and not your employer do today. Obviously, there are a lot of different ways you can invest your money to prepare for your future, but in this video, I'm going to talk about the two most common ways: 401ks and IRAs. So these retirement accounts are there for exactly that, retirement. They're not meant for you to take money out whenever you want like you could with a checking or a savings account. They're there to help you save for retirement by investing the money that you put in there and by adding penalties if you're trying to take the money out early. People often think that 401ks and IRAs are the actual investment, but they're not. So they're just the name of the account, and depending on where you get them from, your job, a bank, or a brokerage, you get different choices on what securities you can invest in. So you'll be able to choose from different mutual funds, index funds, ETFs, bonds, REITs, etc. And you'll pick one or a combination based on your situation and your goals. These accounts are tax advantage accounts, meaning that you get tax benefits, which we'll cover in a little bit. Now, there are different types of 401ks and IRAs, but we'll focus on traditional and Roth. So let's first look at traditional 401ks. So if you started your career and have a full-time job, chances are your company sponsors or offer a 401k account. Now, you don't have to put money in there, but if you do, it goes in tax-free and it grows tax-free. Some companies also offer what's called a match, where they'll match what you contribute up until a certain amount. For example, they could say that they'll match up to 3% of your salary. So if you contribute 10% to your 401k, they'll match up to 3% of that for a total contribution of 13%. Now, they don't do that because they're a great company and they're trying to give you free money. They get a tax benefit from doing it. The amount that the company contributes might not be vested immediately, meaning that their contribution might not be yours immediately. So you had to work for the company for a certain amount of time before you have any rights to it. So if you were to leave the company before that time, for example, you'd lose that match portion. There's a cap or a maximum to how much you could put in your 401k, and for 2019, that's $19,000. Now, the amount that you put in there is also tax deductible, meaning that if you made 60 grand in 2019 and you contributed $10,000 to your 401k, you only get taxed on $50,000, saving you some money. Now, these tax deductions can also put you in a lower tax bracket. That could also save you some money. Now, once you start putting money in there, you can't take it out before you're 59 and a half. If you try to do that, you pay taxes on it and you get charged a 10% penalty fee. Now, after 59 and a half, you can start pulling money out without paying any penalties, but you start paying taxes because you didn't pay taxes before because they were deferred. You start paying taxes on your contributions and the gains or profit at a rate that's based on the income that you're making at the time. Now, a Roth 401k is very similar to the traditional one in almost every way. Now, the major difference is you pay taxes on it before it goes into the account. Now, the money also grows tax-free, but because you already paid taxes on it, you can withdraw your contributions and your gains, you guessed it, tax-free. You may also get a match, but they are contributed pre-tax, just like the traditional ones. Now let's talk about traditional IRAs, which stands for individual retirement accounts. Now, unlike 401ks, which you can only get from your job, you can open an IRA account from a bank or a brokerage company. Now, the contribution limit for 2019 is $6,000, so anyone making more than that can open an IRA account. Your contributions go in and grow tax-free, and you only tax on it when you're allowed to withdraw after 59 and a half penalty free. Now you can also deduct your contributions from your tax return, but the total amount depends on if you already have an employer sponsored retirement account or what your modified adjusted gross income is, but we won't get into that in this video. A benefit IRAs have over 401ks is that they have way more securities and funds to choose from. 401ks are a lot of times very limited in what you can invest in, and their fees can be high. So the institutions that are behind them trying to squeeze as much money as they can from you, because who better to target than a bunch of employees that don't even look at their account or what they're investing in. Oh, and also having a 401k at your job doesn't stop you from opening up an IRA elsewhere if that's what you want to do. You could have both. Now for Roth IRA, just like Roth 401ks, you make contributions to it after paying taxes. Now what's more with Roth IRAs is that you could take out the amount that you put in there without paying any taxes or penalties. Now it's only your contribution and not any gains or profit that you make from the investment. So that makes these accounts more attractive to someone that may want more flexibility and doesn't want to have their money tied down into one account all the way until retirement age, like the different accounts that I mentioned. So of course, after 59 and a half, you could withdraw the entire amount if you want to, tax and penalty free. Another caveat with this account, other than having a low contribution limit of $6,000 for 2019, is that you can't contribute to it if you're making more than $137,000. You might not realize it, but tax advantage accounts are a huge benefit. Let me give you a quick example with a 401k. So in the first scenario, say that you maxed out your traditional 401k and put the full $19,000 every year for 30 years, right? Say the account invested in an index fund with an average return of 7%. Now, after 30 years, you'll have just over $1.9 million available. Now, in scenario 2, say that you were taxed 20% of your contributions like you would on a Roth 401k. Now, you'd have $15,200 available to invest every year for 30 years, and you'll have just over $1.5 million available. Now, that's the difference of over $400,000. That's a pretty big amount. Now, a situation where it might be better to get taxed now is if you think that you're going to be making way more money later, so you could invest your money in a Roth IRA and get taxed now at a lower rate, and when you retire, when you're making way more money later on, then you could pull all that money out tax-free. So it's really important that you actually take a look at what's going on with your retirement account, like what you're investing in, how does it work, what type of fees that you're paying. Is your company match paying to buy their own stocks, or do you have a choice of where to invest that money in? So a lot of people don't really care about these things and just are okay knowing that they're investing in something, and that could end up costing you a lot of money in the long run. 401ks makes it super easy to invest because your employer takes it out automatically out of your account, so you don't even think about it. If you're somebody that really don't care about finances and wants to make that process of investing as easy as possible, it's recommended to take advantage of that 401k account and try to max it out if possible. If you're someone that wants to get a little bit more involved and have more flexibility, you can still contribute to your 401k up until the match at least, because that's free money, but then you could max out a Roth IRA, and if there's anything left over, you could either go back to the 401k or invest in a brokerage account, investing in a low-cost index fund. My focus is real estate, so after contributing up to the match of my 401k, most of what's left over is going into a high yield savings account to have available to buy my first property next year. Now, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so don't just listen to what I'm saying. So you should definitely do your research and talk to a professional so you can know what's best for you. So there you have it. That's all I got for today. If you think this video was helpful, like, comment, share, tag a friend, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace.